Sir, my mom didn't wake up. The little girl said. The CEO turned pale and whispered, "Show me now." The morning sun streamed through the massive glass windows of Sterling Tower, casting long shadows across the marble lobby floor. Ethan Vance, the 42-year-old, CEO of one of the city's largest pharmaceutical companies, walked with his usual brisk pace, his expensive leather shoes clicking against the polished stone. He was a man known for his sharp mind and even sharper tongue, a man who had built an empire through ruthless. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of small moments to change lives, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories. Also, tell us in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? Efficiency and late nights at the office. His assistant, a young man named Marcus, struggled to keep up, rattling off the day's schedule. Ethan barely listened, his mind already on the merger meeting scheduled for 10. As they approached the executive elevator, a small, timid voice cut through the sterile silence of the lobby. "Excuse me, sir?" Ethan frowned and looked down. Standing there was a little girl, no older than 6 or 7. She had large brown eyes that were puffy and red-rimmed, and she clutched a worn cloth doll to her chest. Her clothes were simple but clean. Security guards were hovering a few feet away, looking uncertain. "Miss, you can't be in here," one of them started to say, stepping forward. Ethan held up a hand, silencing the guard. He looked at the little girl, a flicker of impatience in his gaze. "What is it?" he asked, his voice softer than it usually was, though still laced with the authority of his position. The little girl looked up at him, her chin trembling. "Sir, my mom didn't wake up this morning," she said, her voice so quiet it was almost a whisper. The words hung in the air, a simple, devastating statement that seemed to suck all the sound out of the vast lobby. Ethan's entire demeanor changed in an instant. The impatience vanished from his eyes, replaced by a flicker of something raw and ancient, a primal understanding of loss. He turned pale, the color draining from his face as if he had seen a ghost. He knelt down, bringing himself to her level, a gesture that shocked Marcus, who had never seen his boss show such vulnerability. "What do you mean, sweetheart?" Ethan whispered, his voice hoarse. The little girl, whose name he didn't even know yet, just looked at him with those huge, scared eyes. "She's just sleeping, but I can't wake her up. She's cold." I tried and tried. I didn't know who to tell. "I saw you on a big picture outside." She pointed a tiny finger vaguely towards the building's entrance, where a framed magazine cover featuring Ethan was displayed. Ethan's heart clenched. He saw the fear, the confusion, the absolute aloneness in her small face. He didn't ask where her father was or why she was alone. The questions were irrelevant. There was only one thing that mattered. He reached out and gently took her small, free hand. It was cold. "Show me now," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. He stood up, still holding her hand, and turned to his stunned assistant. "Marcus, cancel my morning, everything. Call my driver and have him bring the car to the front now." Without another word, he walked with the little girl towards the exit, his security team parting to let them through. The girl led him not to a car, but on foot, 3 blocks away to a rundown apartment building that Ethan had driven past 100 times but never noticed. They climbed 2 flights of narrow, dimly lit stairs. She stopped in front of a door with peeling paint and fumbled, with a small key on a string around her neck. Ethan's hands were shaking as he opened the door. The small apartment was neat but sparsely furnished, and there, on a bed in the corner, lay a young woman. She looked peaceful, as if in a deep sleep. But Ethan knew. He walked over slowly, the little girl's hand still in his. He didn't need to check for a pulse to know she was gone. He saw the untouched glass of water on the nightstand, the stillness of her chest. He turned to the little girl, who was looking at him with desperate hope. "Can you wake her up now?" she asked. Ethan Vance, the billionaire CEO who had faced down boardrooms and billion-dollar lawsuits, felt tears sting his eyes. He knelt again and pulled the little girl into a gentle hug, shielding her from the sight. He didn't have the words. All he could do was hold her, his own heart breaking for this child who had placed her trust in a stranger from a picture. In that moment, amidst the profound sadness, a silent promise was forged in his soul. He would not just call an ambulance or social services. He would make sure this little girl, this brave, trusting soul, would never have to face the world alone again. He would be the one to wake her up to a new tomorrow, one filled with the safety and love she deserved. This was the beginning of a kindness that would change both their lives forever. If this true story of unexpected kindness touched your heart, please show your support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends and family to spread a little warmth, and subscribing to my channel, Kindness True Stories, for more real-life tales that restore your faith in humanity. Thank you for listening.